All right, welcome back to Survivor Panama. All right.
It's good to be back. Yeah, Panama. I can't. Have I done that yet? I don't even know.
Yes, of course.
Of
Probably
course I
every
have. I'm sure
episode.
I did.
It's been a couple weeks for us. It feels
It
like.
has been
But,
a little bit of time, but that's okay. We're gonna continue onward. I have last episode starting to win me over. I'm starting to like this season quite a lot now.
I mean, there's been some wackadoodle people in here from the beginning, though. Really.
Wackadoodle.
And Shane,
Yeah,
perhaps the most wackadoodle of them all. He's calling Courtney a lunatic.
yeah. He's a lunatic, neurotic.
Who Bruce is neurotic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lunatic. Um, by by just making a weird thing. I think one of my favorite moments still is him like screaming
on
like
his chair.
on his chair. Yeah,
And contorting
was
like his body like he's Arthur Fleck in the Joker.
yeah. It's
Hunched over.
high crazy Arthur Fleck vibes from that man. Emphasis on the crazy.
But yeah, Misty was voted out.
Yep.
Basically, it was
Misty
a
was
split.
voted
There
out.
was the two ladies and the two older guys both vying for the two younger guys who were in the middle. And they planted their flag with the older guys. Voted out Misty despite her shoulder rubs, despite her natural flirtatious nature. It was not enough. Not enough for old
Would have worked on me.
John
I would
Deere
have
hat.
been swayed. I would have been swayed, but you
John
can't
Deere
beat
hat
Southern.
knows to keep his eye on the prize, and also
That's
a
that's
bros
right.
for four hoes. All right.
That's right. Bros before
Yep.
hoes. That's
Let's
right.
go.
Why is he goofy? You know what they say, Maxley. You gotta have your bros before your hoes.
Ew.
Bros
He was also known
before
as,
Maxley.
I forget who it was. They called him the fast guy when they picked him.
Fast guy?
But that's what he was known as because of the first challenge. He was the quickest and he was running.
Oh.
So he was like, when they picked him, like in their tribe layout, they were like, "Fast guy, come over here." Ruth Marie's also in this tribe, right? She's just left out of the pair business. There's three pairs in a Ruth Marie.
Only tribe member without an ally. Yeah.
But now,
Poor old Ruth Marie over there.
now Sally is left without a Misty.
Yeah.
Right?
They better do some work on that then.
Yeah, but obviously, like that's such a tame tribe in comparison to the chaos that's going on in Kasaya and those personalities.
Yeah, I also like Bruce is immediately like kicked back. He's like, oh, he's there doing some stuff, and everyone's kind of like put off, and then immediately he's kicked out by
He's
the other
exiled
team.
again.
Exiled again. Yeah, like just like the only shot we saw of him in the whole episode was just him like suffering on like in rain. It's like, I guess I understand why they're not spending a whole lot of time on it, because it would have been just depressing to have him be there. Like, it's rain, and apparently he must not have had any luck finding the idol or.
Well, yeah, well, he said he couldn't even look for the idol because the rain was that bad.
The rain was so bad.
Not even a little silver lining for being stranded out there.
Yeah, that's awful. That's just. What if it's like that the whole time? Every single time someone gets exiled, it just pours.
Yeah, so far this theme of Exile Island has not really panned out too great.
No.
But we'll see. It's only 3 episodes in. All right. As always, well, if you're new, actually, I keep forgetting to preface this, but
Yeah.
welcome. We do every week. We watch an episode of Survivor. I'm a big fan of Survivor. I've seen this already. But I'm showing my friend Alec the seasons chronologically. So we watched every season before this. We did reviews of every season, and we did reactions of every episode since the start of Survivor Thailand until now.
We did. We've done.
There's a playlist with all of that on there. Check it out. But as always, you can go down the link in the description to see the highlights of our reaction, and then come back afterwards for discussion. Okay?
Yeah. See you there.
There you have it. That's episode 4 of Survivor Panama. The most interesting player in Survivor history, Ruth Marie.
Ruth Marie.
I genuinely think she might be like the most boring contestant yet,
The
perhaps.
most boring period. I
Yeah,
mean, maybe
maybe.
she is. She is very like. She just feels like a mom.
She's like,
You
yeah,
know.
very one note, like,
She's just like, I am a player in this
and
game,
we
and I'm like,
barely saw her before now anyway. It's like
yeah.
they knew they had nothing with her, no material. But man, if she was there, she would just get better
She,
as the game went on. That's for sure.
I, yeah, she was like limping around, looked like she could barely like walk down to the beach,
Hmm.
and boy, she was getting stronger though.
I gotta be honest with you. The Lamina is very boring. The like
It's very, yeah, very
Austin
vanilla.
seems to think is very interesting. What's transpiring?
Also,
Like,
he was
man,
really trying to sell it.
isn't it awesome how all the guys get to choose which woman to vote out? And it's
Yeah,
like, oh, we
he was
both want different women to be voted out. It's like, oh,
he was really trying to
so
sell
much
it
intrigue.
as like high art intrigue. Yeah, it's real intrigue. Intrigue. Yeah. So this isn't Doctor No. This is
Like,
Survivor,
a-
and it
acting like it's so brilliant that he was able to get him to
can
vote out
convince Theory.
the
Oh
older
yeah.
woman over the younger woman. Like, hmm,
It's
it's
like,
a
man,
hard
I'm gonna have to
sell.
really spin it. And he's like, I'm like Jesus of Nazareth, and I was like, what the heck are you talking about?
But it's really
um,
like, okay, it's just rote. It's just like, all right, the guys are together. There's women's next.
yep.
All right, okay.
I like how Sally was like, yeah, well, I want to be here tomorrow. That's all I'll say.
And that's all I'll say.
And it was
And
like, that's it. That's
the
it.
most drama. Sad that the most drama we had was the fact that Dan had made a promise to her,
Yeah,
and then the other
Dan made a
guys were
promise.
like, "Well, Dan made the promise. We didn't make the promise." So,
Yeah,
and Dan's like, "I don't think we should waver because Sally, she'll jump ship as soon as she can." So it was basically like we don't have. That's another number we don't have anyway. That's what he's saying, which does make sense, but if it's true. But yeah.
but as such, Kasaya is the much more interesting tribe. Not as much time spent on them this time around. It was
Hmm.
a little too bad. Kind of too bad because it was the moments that were over there were pretty great.
But it seems like
Um,
every preview is gonna be like another fight at Kasaya. You know,
another
it's like
another fight at
it's like another
Kasaya.
conflict. You know, now Bruce and Courtney are going at it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Normally it's Shane because Shane like pulled aside
yeah,
Danielle and like
yeah,
flipped out of her.
we
You're
did
are
get
you
that.
averse to working? I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, yeah. I'm glad it's just me and not Bobby.
So it's
And then
kind of it's like the dark side of forming your society like this. You know, it's like uh I don't think like he's just being rude about it, and it might be true. She
yeah,
doesn't do as much work as anybody, but he just says it like that. And then Aris comes over. Aris seems to
yeah,
never care. He'll always just be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, she doesn't do any work." I agree
yeah.
with
No,
him.
I agree. I agree with Shane. Yeah,
And then, but they get in their own like mob mentality thing, or so it's like, "Oh, Sari, what do you think?"
yeah. And she's
Obviously,
like,
she's
yeah,
definitely free to speak her mind completely honestly. It's not like
yeah,
she's being
right.
shoehorned to
It's
one
being pressured.
direction. Yeah.
It's not like she's being like pressured or swayed in a certain way. Yeah, by any means.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not like she's gonna just completely disagree with him, like go against the grain of her
Yeah.
alliance or anything like that. Like, why would you ever do
Standing up for her
that?
does no good in the game for
Yeah,
her. So just like, oh, I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
I'll just
Like,
go
yeah,
hop on this bandwagon here.
yeah. It's just like, yeah, I don't. Um, so,
Bobby's biggest episode of the season dropped a deuce in the
yeah,
the Charmin
Bobby's
stall.
Bobby's power move. That
Literally
was a
the
power move right there,
most screen time yet, and it was just him
and,
saying, "I'm gonna go drop a deuce."
dude. That was a alpha. That was a real
It
alpha
was
move
alpha
right
move.
there. He's just asserting dominance, taking a dump,
Yeah,
despite where they told him not to.
yeah. So they won the reward, which gave him the Casa del Charmin, little
Yeah,
toilet stall and toilet paper, and then they immediately Aris, of course, is like, "Oh, I should suggest we just use it to store wood and
yeah,
and all that." But
Hmm.
Bobby's like, "F that! I'm gonna go drop a deuce. Come on now."
Come on now, I gotta, and then he did. That's exactly what he did. And the strange thing about that too is that like, I mean, it makes sense to me that you would, especially because it's like centrally located. I feel like it probably would be a better idea to not actually use it for the quote unquote intended purpose,
hmm
because like that's just gonna stank up camp. You know? Do you really want that happening? I mean, it's not like it's a little ways off, but it's not like it looked like it could be potentially downwind, and I don't know if you really
Yeah.
necessarily want that. So
But Charmin, they were pissed when they saw RS. They were just gonna use it to store wood. Like,
yeah,
that's not what our brand is for. Storing wood. We want you to
it's
shit
for
and wipe your
it's
ass
for
with it. Come
it's
on.
wiping your stinky poopy butt. All right, that's what we want you to do.
And do
But
it
no,
do it back and forth like the bear. Now he does it
the
back
bear,
and forth on his
like
butt.
the bear. I remember the first ad. I remember in the first Charmin ad. It was like the little goofy 2D drawing, and he like sits down, and then I remember he like yeah, it's like a close up of his face, and he like a big smile goes across his face.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Dang, dude, that must be a nice dump and some real soft toilet paper to make that face."
Yeah, but he does
Uh,
the whole. You definitely remember him doing one of the whole
oh yeah,
towel thing. It was like
oh yeah, yeah.
wiping
That's
it on
definitely
his
a thing
butt and
too.
like showing his family like squeaky
Yeah,
clean.
yeah, yeah. I remember that. Yeah,
I'm like, that's strong
that's
toilet
the thing.
paper if you can do that maneuver with
Yeah,
it.
that's like if you
No,
could do that
no
maneuver.
Charmin I've ever seen be able to withstand that move.
That's
Uh,
some strong stuff.
it is strong stuff coming out from this episode.
We were a quilted northern family, quilted northern
Yeah,
household. We're currently a Charmin household,
you
and you
are.
know what? Charmin is pretty great. So
Freaking Charmin standing the test of
yeah,
time decades later, still going
yeah,
strong, right?
yeah.
This
Oh,
this
quilted
this
quilted northern is
product
too.
placement is still hitting, still hits for you. It's
So.
close to home for
Yeah,
you.
it's close to home. It's close to my behind, really. Um,
So we
um,
also had Terry being exiled, and he found the
we
idol.
found
It
we
has been
found the idol.
found.
We get to see the bird's point of view too. I'm not
Yeah,
really,
it looked
but
like the
that,
owl was like the protector of it, and he's like, "Oh, he's on
yeah, he's
to
like really watching. Yeah, the way that it was edited was really cool. Actually, I actually really
it."
appreciated that. Whereas like the guardian owl was like watching over, seeing him get the idol. Pretty cool. I just like that whole system, like the clue system, and um, yeah, I don't know, just um, having it kind of like spread out, given to you in that way. I felt like maybe they were a little too thick on the clues at this point, maybe, but
Well,
I suppose they do want to give some incentive. They are at day 11 or 12 or something,
hmm.
so I guess they do want to like try to get somebody to actually get it to make it feel like it can be worth it and to play a part.
Well, I'm
Um,
curious how long they'll keep the exile going because then it's like, what's the clue look like on like
yeah,
so many episodes later? It's like it is in this specific location.
right,
It is not on any of this. It's like read out the whole thing. It's like one spot on the
right,
map.
because Exile Island doesn't look like it's very big.
Hmm
So like, especially because they've really sort of centered in on like a few different filming areas. Maybe it's just like not easy to film at or something. I don't know, but um,
I mean, it's like
in any case,
episode 4, and we've got what the most interesting thing that Exile Island has to offer. So it's like, what else are we gonna get out of
yeah,
Exile? Like even the episodes before, you get like a snippet, and it's like, oh, they're by themselves suffering. That's
it was
about
very
it.
it was very very little. Like, because like Misty looked for it, kinda. We saw like a couple minutes of that. We saw very little of Bruce actually looking for it. He's just kind of like, oh, okay, and then he didn't have a chance to the last time, and then it's like, okay, for
Hmm
next time, this like third person that goes out there immediately finds it, basically.
He
Like
found
in
it, so
terms
it's
of
like,
it,
yeah,
okay,
the
well,
wind's kind of taken out of the sails on that one. It's like we're gonna
yeah,
keep watching people go to X Island and like look for something that's not there. It's like, oh, I gotta find this idol. Here's the new clue. Uh,
yeah, because then they don't want to necessarily give away the fact that someone has it, because then they're like, oh, well,
maybe
uh,
maybe that'll be something to track.
obviously he has it.
Maybe they'll find the spot and be like, oh, it's gone. So someone must have it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
What
trying to think of anything else.
No one even asked him if he had it, by the way.
Apparently, according to his confessional.
So dependent on Terry. It was like 5 minutes in, they were desperate for him to come back. They had no semblance of like how to do anything without being guided by Terry and his greatness. So it's like when they come back, it's like, Master, I will not even ask you if you found the idol. Please,
it's like,
just guide us. Please.
Yeah, seriously. He's like, yeah, we talked about it a little bit, but we didn't really ask him. I was like, why? It's so weird.
Yeah, it's like, just ask him, did you find the idol? And then you can try to read on his face if he's telling the truth. I want to know if he would have lied. I imagine he would have, even though he seems like this honorable, like, kind of player.
But there's a little bit of, I mean, he did make the decision to go back on the tribe as a whole's word to her, like the alliance's word as a whole. I guess it was technically Dan that just made the promise singularly, but he did seem like he was going to go along with it until...
He seems like the kind of guy that would be like by the books, though. It's like, if I shake your hand, I'm not going to break it. I did not shake your hand, though, so I will... I have no problem with him breaking it. Right,
that was way more letter than spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's letter of the law right there. It's like, I didn't technically do it, so we're not allied with you. But like spirit of the law would be like, Dan did it, we all kind of agreed to it, then we are allied with you. But nope, he didn't technically do it. So boom, loophole.
Yeah. So we got Ruth Marie voted out in a shocking, exciting tribal council.
It was pretty boring. I mean, it was like vaguely interesting because it's like, oh, this could be interesting for the future, but it's not like in the moment it isn't terribly interesting because I think Dan raises the point that Sally is just gonna, as soon as they merge, she's gonna try to move on to like the other friends basically on the other tribe, but
if we go to another tribal council with Lamina, is it just Sally gets voted out now?
Basically, I think. I mean, it's got to be, right? So
it doesn't seem like anything's breaking that. It's like the boys. We're just the boys. We're gonna ride with the boys,
right?
You know, but Ruth Marie, in case you couldn't tell, is actually not long for this game. You know, you might not have been able to tell, but she was barely present on the screen. So
I mean that, and every time she was like hobbling around basically when she was walking. So
she's just older. She's just an older woman. Come on now.
She's just an older woman. Tribe. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's an older lady, and
wait. So is Cerie's the last of the older women now?
Mm-hmm.
And even by her own words in the beginning, she's like, I think I'm on the wrong tribe. You know, I'm not older.
Yeah, we got rid of Tina, Melinda, and now Ruth Marie.
Oh, that's what we love to see. You know, just get all the older women out early on.
Yeah, get them out of here. Get them the hell out of here. We don't need them. We need more Shanes. We need more.
We need.
We
need Nick.
We need Nick. He's a real character too.
Yeah.
We've seen like almost nothing of him. Also,
Nick's just like I'd rather not go back on the deal that Dan made. You know.
That was it. That's all we got from him. Like the whole episode.
He wasn't that bothered by it. He was convinced eventually by Austin's master manipulation.
Yeah, apparently Austin's 3D chess that he's doing.
His John Deere hat.
Yeah. All right.
Who's the MVP for the episode?
Boy, it's tough because like there wasn't like a legitimate. There wasn't like one specific standout. Like, wow, this person dominated the episode because there were like lots of like little small moments. I would say.
There was only one person we saw take a deuce on this episode. I mean,
it's true.
I'm just saying, Casa del Charmin. Terry found the idol, though. Ruth Marie fought so hard.
She tried so hard and got so far.
Sally was there.
Sally was there.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna give it to Austin. The reason why is because he hyped this up like he thought it was gonna be the crazy. this is almost like an ironic MVP because I kind of
Hmm.
hated it, like the fact that he was like hyping this up so
Well, he's
much.
kind of like the Jesus of
But
Nazareth, and
he's kind of
Nazareth in
basically
a lot of
Jesus
ways.
of Nazareth, yeah. If you think about it, really.
So fair enough.
But I think it'd be given to him for at least trying to make it seem more exciting than it actually was. So good on him for that.
It's because I guess when you're out there, I mean, it's like the
He
narrative is
did,
like you
yeah,
are the main character, and like
yeah,
this is
it's
the
true.
most excitement we've had on our tribe. So it's like, oh, this is,
Yeah,
but they don't even know
Ruth
the chaos that's happening in the other tribe.
Ruth Marie looked like she just accepted the fact that she was an NPC, pretty much. I mean, that's kind of what that
Sometimes you
felt
have
like.
these players that seem like they're just content with being the side character.
Yeah,
By the way, in the beginning when they just said when Dan had welcomed her into like the five, like we have two pairs of guys and we want to just welcome you in if you don't mind.
yeah.
Oh, she's
It
like,
just
thank
seems
you.
so. Yeah, it was just very strange. It was like, thank you, and it's like you do realize that like as soon as the opportunity arises, they're gonna dump you like a sack of potatoes,
Yeah,
right?
but I gotta be grateful for what I can get. I mean, they didn't have to give me
Yeah.
that courtesy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was really out of the generosity of their
I
hearts and
mean,
nothing else.
this isn't my game to win, so I'm just happy to be here. All right, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, special shout out to Shane. Has Shane won an MVP yet? Did he win last week? No, I think I gave it to Misty because she's a cutie.
He did win the second episode
He did win
MVP.
second episode. Well, he's gonna win more. Sure, he's gonna win more coming up. I'm sure.
So for
Um,
the MVPs are Tina, Shane, Misty, and Austin.
yeah.
All the
Oh, we
favorites.
gotta all the favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, two of them on their boot episode. Tina and
Yeah.
Misty. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah. I'm
right.
gonna remember the fact that poor Tina got kicked out and that she was weird for being on
It was
going on
to be
her
fair, it
own.
was super weird. Like, what are you upset for? Um, like, what could be bothering you that much?
Yeah. Seriously, that you're just out there.
Just come be kumbaya by the fire with us. Come on,
That's
now.
right. Yeah. Come on now. There's three of us
She
here.
could catch a
Only
fish
one.
with her bare hands, that's for sure. She
Yeah.
pulled it out of the water. Definitely didn't just happen upon it on the rocks.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you
Yeah.
have
There
it.
you go.
Come back next week for another episode of Survivor Panama.
Hopefully, a little bit more riveting than this one.
This
No,
was
I mean,
one for the.
it's one for the books right
Yeah,
here.
that's right.
I mean, for crying out loud, that's okay. My favorite part, to be fair, my favorite part probably was, aside from the challenges, which were also pretty good again. My favorite part probably was all the editing around finding the idol and stuff. That was like well shot and well edited,
Yeah,
and Bobby taking a dump in the toilet was cool too.
these are the highlights.
These are the highlights.
Yeah.
So anyway,
All right.
yeah.
Well, well, what?
Well, I said we'll be back next week and we'll do some more Survivor goodness.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And in the meantime, what video would you recommend our viewers watch after this one?
Go check out episode 12 of Survivor Palau.
Survivor Palau.
Yeah.
What episode is that?
I called it Greg and Greg. There's two Gregs in that one, and Double G
Yes,
Greg
that's
gets voted up.
Greg does, his brother
Fire.
Greg.
Yeah, his brother Greg.
Yeah. Okay, so
Um,
it's called I named the episode Shady Lady Katie.
Shady Lady Katie.
That was Tom's I think Tom described Katie that way.
Shady, yeah, Shady Katie.
Shady Lady Katie. I think he actually said that.
Greg wins, takes Jen, also Katie, on a yacht ride. So strategy Becky Camp on the yacht.
Yeah.
Except I think there wasn't really a whole lot, but I don't know. There's a cool immunity challenge there. They did a bunch of the past stuff. So.
Mm.
Oh yeah, Ian approaches Katie, promised her brother to protect.
That's true.
That's true. That happened. Yeah.
Tom, one of the all-time greats.
Tom is a machine. Not in the same way that Brian is a machine. But
Who said was it Bobby John, who was like in awe of Tom. He called him like some man. He's like a man. Like
Yeah, he did say something about him. He was
something
kind of
like
in awe of him,
yeah,
awestruck.
a man among
But
man or something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man among men. Yeah,
All right. Well, check
yeah.
that out. We got a whole playlist of all our Survivor videos. There's a lot of them. You know, pick if you want to go and pick whatever seasons you prefer. You can do that. There's a. I'm sure you got your favorites. My
You get your
favorite,
favorite.
Pearl Islands. It's probably our. I
Just
mean,
throwing it out
by
there.
its nature, it's probably our best reaction series because there's just a lot of fun moments there.
There's a lot of enjoyment to be had. That whole season was just a delight, an absolute delight. I
Mm-hmm.
loved it. So,
All right then. If you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment with your thoughts, hit the notification bell, click the links in the description for our social media. All right.
all right.
All right. Get out of here.